What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Crypto Sherpa channel and Baxter channel, I guess, too, since she's hanging out with me as I'm doing the show. But welcome. Yes, if you're new to the channel, I cover the daily crypto news Monday to Friday at 12 o'clock to keep you informed on what's going on in the crypto space, keeping you up to date on your investments out there. Because when you invest in crypto, you kind of want to know what you're getting into and what's happening with it. So that's why I go through news articles, I read them through. So that way you can just listen to it on the drive. You might not have the time to do some reading yourself, but that's why I'm here. So yeah, who's going to be the first to add Bitcoin to the reserve? Yes, Trump already signed an executive order for the US to have its own Bitcoin reserve, but nothing's been added to it yet. So they're still working out plans with that. Yesterday, we heard from Bo Hines talking with Anthony Pompliano in an interview. Great interview. Listened to it when I was at the gym last night after I read the article. But no, the US is has many options to acquire more Bitcoin. And like one of them he was talking about was taking gold certificates, reevaluating them, because I think they were like at $43 back then, when gold's price is $3,200 now. So yeah, that's one way to acquire some more Bitcoin without affecting taxpayers' dollars at all. So nobody's got to worry about that. And also you mentioned like tariffs could be used to purchase Bitcoin or acquire Bitcoin as well. So they have a lot of works going on with that, but no one has yet to add some Bitcoin to the reserve. So I have a couple of articles here, one from Sweden, how they're talking about it or being pushed into it. Germany, one of their parties is actually talking about it as well. And we're talking about how Oklahoma cut that state Senate Treasury reserve because the states in the US are also planning on having a statewide reserve. And yeah, so Oklahoma was shut down in the Senate's vote, but there's still like at least a couple other countries like are still ahead of the game. I think Texas, New Hampshire, and Arizona are them. But yeah, so I'm going to be covering those articles for you, as well as a couple other news like Cristiano Ronaldo's doing some crypto ads for Binance. It's like, oh, we're in that time of the season because we see that often. And then I have a couple like hacks that happen, or just one hack that happened and one hacker that got jailed. So that's what we'll be covering today. So let's go through the news and find out. So first up, let's take a look at the pricing with all the coins out there. It's a little reddish today, but Bitcoin's still actually holding around 84,000. Where are you at, Bitcoin? You're somewhere on this chart. Let's see if we can find him. Do you see him? How come I can't? Oh, it's that tiny little bubble there because Bitcoin only had a, what is that? Like a, no, that's Bitcoin SV. That's Bitcoin Gold. So that's not Bitcoin. Where are you at? Where are you at, Bitcoin? I want to see my Bitcoin. Huh, interesting. Why are you not on here? Well, we'll eventually find it. But let's go through the news, right? That's what we're here for. We want to know what's going on in the space. So first up, we have Swedish Bitcoin reserve proposal, and the lawmakers urge its financial minister to follow the US SBR steps. So amid the global efforts to adopt crypto, members of the Riksdag, the Swedish parliament, are urging the country's financial minister, Elisabeth Svantesson, to evaluate Bitcoin and a Bitcoin reserve for Sweden's holdings. Now, Swedish lawmakers propose a Bitcoin reserve. So on Monday, members of the Swedish parliament and the finance committee, Dennis Duquarv, sent a letter to the finance minister asking her to consider adding crypto to the country's national reserve. Now, Duquarv posted the translated letter on X, highlighting that the global trend of the countries purchasing or refraining from selling their seized digital assets, including Bitcoin. He also noted that the US is establishing a Bitcoin reserve, which raises the question on whether the country should develop a similar strategy to create an SBR alongside Sweden's gold and currency reserve. And here is that letter that has been translated that he sent out there. So to the financial minister, Elizabeth Benson, Sweden has a gold reserve and currency reserve in India, and the USA, a strategic Bitcoin reserve, is now being established. This is a trend seen in many countries that are now actively purchasing Bitcoin, or as in the USA, refraining from selling the Bitcoin that authorities have confiscated. So this raises the question of whether Sweden should formulate a similar strategy to build a strategic Bitcoin reserve alongside the currency and gold reserves. And in order not to use taxpayers' money, for the Swedish authorities could, as in the USA, be instructed to transfer confiscated Bitcoin to Sweden's central bank. Now, my question to the financial minister, Elisabeth Svensson, is therefore as follows. Is this something that the minister and the government are considering? I don't know. So are they considering it? Again, like it's the race is on. Bo Hines even like announced that in another meeting, saying the race has already begun and we're seeing it happen. So again, who's going to be first to actually start acquiring it? Like a good reserve's going, because like with our reserve, it's like we're not selling any confiscated Bitcoin anymore. So that's good. So we're actually holding like around like 200,000 Bitcoin, still waiting on that audit to see what the US actually holds. And then the US is finding ways to acquire more Bitcoin without touching taxpayer monies at all. So Sweden is considering doing the same thing, as they're urging their minister to maybe consider it. Now, US President Donald Trump signed an executive order on March 6 to create a strategic Bitcoin reserve and a digital asset stockpile. Now, within the US Department of the Treasury, the order mandates that the initiatives would be funded by crypto seized from government's criminal and civil forfeiture proceedings, including the US's 200,000 Bitcoin holdings and other digital assets already owned by the Treasury Department. Now, the lawmaker suggested that following the US steps in not using taxpayers' money to purchase Bitcoin, instead he proposed that Swedish authorities could be instructed to transfer seized Bitcoin to Sweden's central bank. He closed the letter by asking the financial minister if this is something they would consider. Now, in an X post, a crypto community member questioned whether she has an honest and somewhat complete understanding of what technology in question, suggesting that it would be a serious uphill battle otherwise. So how well does she actually know Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, blockchain technology? If they know absolutely nothing about it, then it is going to be an uphill battle to try to educate them on it. But let's go over the global Bitcoin reserve trend right now that's just happening everywhere. So another member of the Riksdag, Rickard Norden, recently sent a similar letter asking the financial minister to include Bitcoin in Sweden's reserve to diversify its current holdings. So this isn't the first time a Swedish parliament member or Swedish member was asking the minister if they want to invest in Bitcoin or use Bitcoin as a strategy. So this is like the second time this week. So who knows, we're starting getting more push for it. But as reported by the Bitcoinist, the lawmakers question if the minister and government have considered the possibility of allowing Riksbank to include Bitcoin in Sweden's currency reserve, and the minister and the government act to give the Riksbank such an opportunity. Now, in the April 7th letter, Norden also noted that several international players consider Bitcoin as a store of value and hedge against inflation. Additionally, Norden underscored that Bitcoin is used as a means of payment and an important way for freedom fighters to manage payments when under the repression of authoritarian regimes. Now, for instance, Brazil's federal deputy Eros Biondini introduced a bill in November to create a national Bitcoin reserve to diversify the financial assets of Brazil's national treasury and guarantee to the country's economic sovereignty. Then we also have Italy and Czech Republic have recently seen support for Bitcoin reserves, while multiple U.S. states have been in the race to establish a state strategic Bitcoin reserve, with many of them still advancing their bills through legislative processes. And we'll see here about how Oklahoma was stopped. Now, this trend has opened the discussion to include Bitcoin in government's foreign exchange reserves, despite Sweden's traditional of conservative and carefully managed foreign exchange reserves, mainly in consisting of foreign currencies and gold. Now, ultimately, Norden's letter stated that Svante Svensson has until Wednesday, April 16th, to reply with Diokhorov's offer to the financial minister, and until Wednesday, April 23rd, to answer the question. So he put that notification today. Hopefully, they will respond by the 23rd, so that's next week. I think that's next Wednesday. So we'll find out on what their plan is there, if they do actually address it. But no, we saw there, there is so many countries for the race to add it. Brazil, Italy, Czech Republic. We got Germany considering that too, with the U.S. and each individual state fighting for one. So, guys, who's going to be first? Who do you think it is going to be? I think it's going to be the states. Let's go, America. So that's Sweden's proposal. Now let's hear about Oklahoma's shutting down their progression of the state reserve. So Oklahoma kills Bitcoin reserve proposal in Senate committee vote. Now, with the failure of Oklahoma's Bitcoin reserve bill, New Hampshire, Texas, and Arizona now lead the push for the state-level BTC reserve. So just because one's gone, we still have 49 other states have a chance to go through with it. And it looks like these 4 are in the lead. But Oklahoma's attempt to become one of the first U.S. states to implement a Bitcoin reserve has come to an abrupt end. In a tight 6-5 vote on Monday, the Senate Revenue and Taxation Committee struck down House Bill 1203, also called the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve Act, despite late momentum and a surprise vote reversal from Senator Christy Gillespie. Now, Gillespie, who had planned to vote no up until this afternoon, changed her mind after a couple of constituents reached out to her. Now, a lawmaker changed their no vote to yes because they heard from the Bitcoiner constituents tweets that Dennis Porter, CEO and co-founder of Satoshi's Action Fund, urging Bitcoin Reserve advocates to keep pressuring on legislators. Your voice matters. So Dennis Porter, just keep pushing your legislators. We want this. We need this. So if you want to help your state get a state Bitcoin Reserve, keep pushing those. Get letters out, do phone calls, do whatever you can just to help out this goal we have. Now, still, the effort fell short in Oklahoma. The no votes came from Republican Senators Todd Gallagher, Chuck Hall, Brent Howard and Dave Rader, along with Democrats Julia Kurt and Mark Mann. And here's the tweet where you can actually watch the Bitcoin Reserve bill fails to pass the Senate. But Oklahoma's over bill HB 1203 has failed in the Senate Revenue and Taxation Committee. And these were the list of the names. So we had 2 Democrats and 4 Republicans voting no for it. Now, Senator Chrissy Gillespie voted yes on Oklahoma's Bitcoin bill. So again, as we heard, she first was going to say no, but because people urged her to, she changed her mind on it. So, Now, introduced by Rep. Cody Maynard in January, HB 1203 would have allowed Oklahoma State Treasury to invest in Bitcoin and other qualifying digital assets, and defined as any with a market capitalization above $500 billion for the past year. So I wonder if this is for like everybody's bill, or if I'm just rehearing this all the time. But yeah, for these reserves, like for them to hold it, the coin itself has to be above a $500 billion market cap. Now, as if we can see here, like on coin market cap, we can take a look at the market cap of certain coins. Now, the only one that falls in that category is Bitcoin with 1.6 trillion market cap size, while Ethereum is at 192 billion. So it still needs about 308 billion more dollars to get pushed into its market cap in order to be considered a part of the bill. So I wonder if this is how, though, all of the states are pushing their bill. It's like it has to revolve around this qualification or parameters of it. So, an earlier committee passed the bill in February by a wide vote, 12-2 margin, setting up Monday's high-stakes showdown. So this past, last month, or no, 2 months ago, man, this year is just flying by. So where it got pushed from the House to go to the Senate, but now this is where it got shut down. But the state Bitcoin Reserve efforts, so with Oklahoma now out of the picture, New Hampshire, Texas, and Arizona have emerged as the top contenders in the race, becoming the first U.S. state to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve. It also marks the latest blow to such proposals, following recent rejections in Montana, North Dakota, Pennsylvania, South Dakota, and Wyoming. So that's 5, 6. So we still have 44 states out there that could push through a state reserve. Heck, if we even get 5, just let alone 5 states to have that state reserve, that's going to do wonders, Bitcoin Reserve. And the other states that say no, they're going to be playing catch up with the other ones out there. But meanwhile, on April 10th, New Hampshire's House passed the HB 302, a bill permitted up to 10% of the state's general fund to be invested in Bitcoin and precious metals. The 192/179 vote sends the bill to the Senate for further considerations. Okay, so it's not all bills are the same thing. Acquire $500 billion or acquire a coin that's over a $500 billion market cap. So this one is just doesn't state that at all, but states that they could put 10% into their general fund into Bitcoin. Now, on the same day as New Hampshire's vote, Florida's House Insurance and Banking Committee unanimously passed HB 487, which would allow up to 10% of certain state funds to invest in Bitcoin. I think we here at the Crypto Club actually want to be a part of that. It's like, hey, where are you going to get that Bitcoin? We can help you out. And that's true, guys. If you need help acquiring no KYC Bitcoin or just large sums of Bitcoin, join the club. We offer that perk and part of the membership. So yeah, tons of new things coming. But Arizona, meanwhile, continues to lead in terms of legislative momentum. On March 24th, the state's House Rural Committee approved 2 complementary bills, the SB 1373 and SB 1025, that propose the Arizona State Treasury to invest public funds in Bitcoin. The bill now awaits a full floor vote in the House if they pass the legislation, and will head to Governor Katie Hobbs for final approval. Now, on March 6th, the Texas Senate passed its SB 21, a Bitcoin strategic Bitcoin reserve bill, in a 25-5 vote. So that one just demolished the naysayers after a contentious debate on the Senate floor. Now, at the moment, 47 state Bitcoin reserve bills have been introduced across 26 states, with 40 active bills still live in 20 states, as per the reserve bill tracker laws and data. Wait, does this link take us there? Let's take a look, guys. Let's see if this will take us here. So digital asset. Ooh, this is nice. So let's see. So which states are not in there? So we got Maine. Forgot what that one is. We have Kentucky, Tennessee. Really? No, that's Kentucky. So that's West Virginia, Tennessee, Louisiana. But let's see. California. We have AB digital assets details. Man, I gotta save this website. So this is good. So if you guys want to keep an eye on like state reserves and where they're at right now, this is bitcoinlaws.io. So not bad, pretty interesting. So that's a cool site to keep an eye on. But yeah, so the race is still on. Like again, there's still so many states with active bills going on to push this forward. Just because Oklahoma was shut down and the other 6 states that were mentioned as well. Like, it's not the end. I guarantee just another one will be pushed through later on, and eventually every single state will have a state reserve. Like, that's I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not a psychic, but I just can see that is where we are headed. So when that does happen, Bitcoin, whoo, you better just pray you got some. So that's Oklahoma's bill news. Now let's move on to our final news on just Bitcoin adoption with reserves, and this one's going with Germany. Now, Germany recently, last year, a couple months, like they sold all their Bitcoin off, and I was like going, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing it? And now we got a party having its reverse stance on it. So crypto comeback, Germany's next ruling party reverses its stance on Bitcoin. So Germany's Christian Democratic Union has radically altered its position in cryptocurrencies from critic to advocate in the run-up to the formation of the nation's new government. Now, the political party, once a leader in advocating hardline regulations against digital assets, now seeks to transform Germany into a Bitcoin business hub, recent reports indicate. Now, CDU unveils the pro-crypto plans following electoral success. The CDU's new path came following the victory of Germany's February 23rd elections. The CDU places high value on the issue of cryptocurrencies, a party representative said in an interview with BTC Echo and a German digital currency media platform. Now, in its agenda 2030, with the representative said that they introduced in January 2025, that they expressly commit themselves to shaping Germany as an ideal destination for the economy. Now, this represents a full turnaround from the early part of 2024, when the party then opposition suggested prohibiting some transactions and forcing registration for self-hosted crypto addresses. Now, such proposals upset numerous people in Germany's Bitcoin circles who perceive them as threats to financial freedom. Now, there is a tweet out there from Frederick Mars that is in German, so let's see if it breaks it down. It does not. But they have proposed scrapping of Germany's crypto tax break as well. Now, that used to be a really good one. If you held Bitcoin or crypto for over a year, zero capital gains tax on any of that. But are they going to scrap that? Let's find out. So the official coalition treaty between the SDU and its Bavarian sister party, CSU, and the Social Democratic Party, SPD, was signed on April 9th. It contains only a brief mention of the digital asset, vowing to examine the regulation of crypto assets, the gray capital market, and shadow banks for loopholes, and close them if necessary. As per reports, the SPD had proposed eliminating Germany's generous crypto tax break in March negotiating, and German investors currently do not pay taxes on profit for Bitcoin, Ethereum, or other digital currencies if they keep them for over a year before selling them. This suggestion was excluded from the final deal. So I guess they might not get rid of that. Now, the party seeks balance between innovation and security. The CDU spokesperson underlined that the party is now fundamentally open to crypto assets as part of the development of the new financial system. We see a huge potential for innovation in the underlying blockchain technology, they added, citing applications in cybersecurity and enhancing value chains. Meanwhile, the party has not discarded all worries. The representative emphasized that any new legal framework should avoid money laundering and financial terrorism, something they say still happens with some crypto assets. Now, the CDU reported aim is a balanced approach to supporting innovation and security. Now, how is the new government confronting numerous priorities beyond just crypto? Well, CDU Chief Frederick Mears is expected to be the chancellor when the new government is to be sworn in the first week of May, yet crypto regulation might not be at the spotlight. According to reports, Berlin will have to tackle numerous urgent issues such as economic problems, migration policy, and defense issues before they can even address crypto. So, I guess they do got some other problems they got to address first, but hey, if they get into crypto, I'm pretty sure that's going to get some of their people on the backing, because I personally feel like the current U.S.'s elections, when we had that going on, I feel like the crypto industry and the people in it did have somewhat of a say, like in the way this election went, a lot more favorable. I feel like there was a lot more of them than there were naysayers out there. So I know he's got a lot of stuff on his plate to tackle there in Germany, but hopefully he does eventually get to crypto, changes in the policies, and maybe adopt a strategic reserve. So that is all of our news on the reserve, countries, states acquiring Bitcoin, and where they're at with it. Now let's move on to our next article revolving around Cristiano Ronaldo, the soccer player, and he's taking on the Binance Challenge. Now, what is the Binance Challenge? I don't know. Let's find out. But this is kind of like what am I getting with that before I go with the article? Like seeing these articles come out of celebrities, sports members, and everyone pushing like crypto ads now. This is just giving me 2021 vibes of our last cycle we had when we saw like celebrities to get in with exchanges out. I think the big one was Mark Wahlberg and crypto.com. What was that slogan? Brave is the bold, or become the, I can't even remember anymore, but that got so much like backlash. It was just weird. It was awkward. And like during the cycle's bull run, like we noticed like I noticed there was a lot of these ads, partnerships coming up with exchanges. So this has kind of given me a sign that like maybe altcoin season is just around the corner. Maybe it's in a couple days. So yeah, let's keep paying attention to these news articles that pop up, because this just tells us where we're at in crypto cycle. But yes, let's go through this article and actually see what the Binance Challenge actually is. So Cristiano Ronaldo takes on the Binance Challenge, stepping again into the world of Web3 through a collaboration with the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange. Now, Binance made the exciting announcement about a post on X, formerly Twitter, accompanied by a high-energy video of Ronaldo playing football. The video showcases his iconic skills and hints at what's to come in this digital collectible journey. There is that tweet from Binance stating, "Ahead has always been our game. Watch the full video now." It's 1 minute and 30 seconds, so that's just a photo, so you can't play it. But at the end of the video, Ronaldo says, "Anticipate the Binance." Oh, that's kind of cringe. Anticipate the Binance. With the Binance logo also appearing, giving fans a glimpse of what's to come in the new venture. Now, no further details have been released yet, but more information is expected soon. Fans are eagerly awaiting what's to come, and this move blends Ronaldo's global football fame with the rapidly growing world of Web3 and blockchain technology, providing fans. Now, it's providing fans with new ways to engage with their hero while also introducing more people to crypto. Now, Ronaldo launched the Forever Skills NFT collection in May 2024 on Binance, showcasing his signature football moves and Proof of Skills challenge that allowed fans to earn unique digital rewards. So that's actually what's going on with Ronaldo. He's just still pushing forward. This isn't his first time getting involved. Like he had like that NFT project last cycle. And so we'll see how this goes. But I really didn't like the way that ended. What was that? Behold the Binance, anticipate the Binance. It's like, what are we anticipating? But we will find out about that. So that's Cristiano Ronaldo's news. Before we go on, let's take a moment to play a quick ad for you guys from Calyx Solutions Crypto Laptops. Keep your laptop secure and safe on this device. So here we go.
In a world where your data is constantly under attack, one company stands for your digital freedom. Introducing Calyx Solutions, your gateway to ultimate online privacy and secure cryptocurrency trading. Meet the Liberty Laptop. With its modified OS and advanced tracking prevention, it's your shield against surveillance. Access restricted areas, use recommended security software, and browse with confidence. Your digital footprint? Virtually non-existent. For the crypto pros, we present the Crypto Laptop. Pre-configured on premium hardware for secure trading. Optimized for your favorite wallets and exchanges, it's the fortress your digital assets deserve. Both laptops come with expert individual training and support. You're never alone in your journey to digital empowerment. At Calyx Solutions, we put you in control. No more worrying about data breaches or compromised transactions. Ready to join the revolution? Visit calyxsolutions.io and choose your perfect laptop today. Plus, become an affiliate and earn while sharing the power of digital freedom. Calyx Solutions. Unlock your digital freedom. Give us a call or text at 702-845-8276 or visit us directly at calyxsolutions.io.
And we are back. So yes, let's continue on with the news. What else is going on? Let's continue on with sports news and what's happening there. So next up, we have the UFC boss Dana White becoming VeChain's advisor to push blockchain mainstream. So yeah, the development may bring new mainstream users to blockchain by tapping into the UFC's 950 million worldwide audience. So let's see if this helps out. But VeChain is a layer 1 blockchain platform focused on real-world applications. It has added Ultimate Fighting Championship CEO Dana White as its newest official advisor to raise more mainstream awareness of blockchain technology. Now, White, also the founder of PowerSlap, will join VeChain's advisory board next to Nobel Prize-winning physicist, almost said psychosis, physicist Konstantin Novoselov to drive real-world blockchain adoption through complementary expertise in mass marketing and scientific innovation. Now, VeChain is an incredible partner for the UFC and PowerSlap, and I'm honored to join their advisory board, White said in a statement shared with Cointelegraph. I'm passionate about the technology, and with their products and innovation, I'm looking forward to helping elevate their brand to the next level. So let's see what he can do. Now, the move could significantly expand blockchain's reach. UFC's broadcasts reach more than 950 million households globally, giving VeChain a major opportunity to connect with new users. Now, White will play a pivotal role in amplifying VeChain's sustainable initiative, VBetterDAO, which is a decentralized platform incentivizing real-world sustainable actions through the DAO's incentive token, B3TR. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be like any DAO out there. In order to be able to vote and participate in it, you need to be a token holder, and that is this one right here, B3TR. So he's going to try to put that through. But White will not receive any B3TR or VeChain tokens as compensation for his advisory role, VeChain confirmed with Cointelegraph. Now, UFC taps VeChain for tokenized fighter gloves. The UFC has already implemented VeChain's technology with near-field communication chips integrated into the new generation of fighter gloves. So, that's pretty cool. This was done to combat fraud, as fighter apparel is often auctioned off for charity and other causes, but suffers from high degree of fraud. Sunny Liu, co-founder and CEO of VeChain, told Cointelegraph, adding that the NFC plus blockchain combination helps demonstrate the items are authentic, an example of how VeChain creates real-world assets and phygital goods. If you don't know what phygital stands for, it's kind of like a made-up word out there, physical and digital. So they were like, let's call this phygital. They're always making up new words in the space. But additional conversations are underway with the UFC and the UFC Foundation and other partners to provide opportunities for VeChain and the VBetter app ecosystem, with details to be revealed in the coming weeks, Liu added. Now, VeChain, again, is a layer 1 smart contract platform designed to enhance the supply chain and accelerate the mass adoption of blockchain technology. So, yeah, so pretty cool. We'll see how that works out. But I do like the feature of the gloves, like NFT plus gloves, just to keep track of it. Because, again, like there's a lot of fake gloves out there. Because some of these guys, like people like the like true fans out there, like they want anything they can of their sport. It's like, oh, I want that football, or I want that person's gloves, I want that person's shoes. So, and like when they get it, like they may get a fake one sold online, it can't be tracked. But now if you combine NFT and blockchain technology with the item, now you can actually keep track of the item on a decentralized distributed ledger out there. So that's pretty cool. So we'll keep an eye on this and see how VeChain even holds up. So that was our UFC boss news. And now let's move on to this one publicly traded company that boosted Solana treasury. So it's kind of mimicking Strategy's plan, Michael Saylor's company's strategy in acquiring a reserve, but they have a twist. They're going for Solana instead of Bitcoin. Yeah, right, that's right. So we'll see how like this plays out for them. I think it'll be a lot better if they just put it in Bitcoin. Just follow the strategy that works. Don't try something new right now. But let's see how they do it. But I believe they're just starting off with at least like 20 million or 21 million. Yeah, 21 million. So yeah, the company itself is Janover, and they have just scooped up more than $20 million in Solana since its board approved a plan to add the token to its coffers earlier this month. Now, the real estate financing platform Janover has purchased an additional $10.5 million worth of Solana, marking its latest push to adopt Strategy's crypto stashing playbook with a twist. Now, the company purchase of 80,567 tokens marks its third Solana acquisition under its new digital asset treasury plan, enacted on April 4th. According to the company's statement released on Tuesday, Solana is trading at $128 as of writing time, just down less than 1% in the past day, according to CoinGecko's data. And the uplift follows President Trump's 90-day tariff pause, which has helped soothe investors' jitters and ease recent volatility. Now, the latest acquisition puts Janover's total Solana holdings at 163,651.7 tokens, worth $21.2 million. Now, after building in the crypto industry for more than a decade, we are at a tipping point in the mass DeFi adoption, Janover CEO and chairman Joseph Onorati said on Tuesday in a statement. He said that we're proud to be the first to introduce a digital asset treasury strategy in the U.S. public markets. Now, Janover will begin staking its newly acquired Solana immediately, according to the statement. Staking is a process by which cryptocurrency holders pledge their tokens up to a blockchain in order to help secure the network. Now, in exchange for locking up their assets, the token holders receive a reward in the form of crypto token yields. So that's what they're kind of wanting to do with this strategy. So yeah, it's kind of different. You can't really stake Bitcoin. You can mine Bitcoin. Sure, there are platforms out there that allow you to like wrap a Bitcoin and then you stake it on another blockchain out there. But Solana is a native token with staking capabilities. It's proof of stake consensus mechanism. And yeah, so they can earn yields to it. So who knows? Maybe it will work out for them. But in the future, Janover aims to operate one or more of its own Solana validators, facilitating its plans to stake its treasury assets and earn rewards that it can use to fund its investments. Now, the company's latest move to add more Solana to its balance sheet comes as a rash of public companies having begun filing their corporate treasuries with cryptocurrencies, a la Michael Saylor's software firm Strategy, formerly MicroStrategy. Now, Strategy has amassed approximately $45 billion worth of Bitcoin since it started buying in 2020. And over the past few months, technology company Fathom Holdings and healthcare firm Cosmos Health are among those who have begun amassing Bitcoin stashes as well. While Canadian fintech firm DeFi Technologies added millions of dollars worth of altcoins, Solana, and Core to its treasury last July. Now, they joined a slew of public companies such as Bitcoin mining firm Marathon Digital Holdings, crypto exchange Coinbase, and technology companies such as Block and Tesla that have long counted Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies among their reserve assets. Now, Janover's latest acquisition comes soon after its board of directors approved the strategy to accumulate digital assets over a long period of time, beginning with Solana. Janover shares finished the trading day priced at $74.45, up nearly 13% in the past 24 hours and 1,680% in the past month. So yeah, so they're going to add some cryptos to their treasury too. But again, there's a twist. They're doing Solana because they're hoping to stake the token and then earn some rewards that pay for other investments out there. So yeah, so we'll see how that does. Good luck to you. I think you should just do Bitcoin. But hey, everyone can try different things. Just get a little ahead of the curve out there. Now let's move on to our hacker news out there, and then we'll be done with the show. But it looks like a hacker mints 5 million ZK tokens after compromising a ZK Sync admin account. Now, the attacker exploited an admin account tied to ZK Sync's airdrop contracts, minting 111 million unclaimed tokens worth $5 million. So let's see how he did it. So a hacker compromised a ZK Sync admin account on April 15th, minting $5 million worth of unclaimed airdrop tokens. According to a statement from the official ZK Sync X account, the attack was described as an isolated, with no user funds affected. So it was isolated, so users are safe still. Now, following the investigation, ZK Sync's detailed the incident on April 15th, disclosing that the compromised account had administrative control over 3 airdrop distribution contracts. The attacker exploited a function called sweep unclaimed to mint 111 million unclaimed ZK tokens, increasing the total token supply by 0.45% as of the latest update. Now, the attacker still held control of most of the stolen funds. Now, here is that tweet of the announcement from ZK Sync, just how they identified that there was a promise. All user funds are still safe, and this is an isolated incident caused by a compromised key and confined to just the ZK token airdrop contract. Now, the investigation is still ongoing, and a detailed update will be shared later today. Now, ZK Sync is coordinating recovery efforts with the Security Alliance, according to protocol. Now, its governance and token contracts are unaffected, and the company stated that no further exploits are possible via the sweep unclaimed vector. Now, ZK Sync is an Ethereum Layer 2 protocol that processes main layer transactions in batches using a technology called zero-knowledge rollups. Now, the ZK Sync Era platform has 57.3 million in total value locked as of April 15th, according to the DeFi Llama. Now, ZK Sync had been in the process of airdropping 17.5% of its token supply to the ecosystem participants. But ZK token had dropped 7% in the 24 hours since this happened. Yeah, so ZK token, or abbreviated ZK, saw volatile price action in the wake of the hack and the project's public disclosure on X. Around 1 p.m. UTC time, the token had dropped 16%, falling to 0.040 cents before rebounding to 0.047 cents at the time of writing. Now, despite the bounce, ZK remains down 7% over the past 24 hours, and overall $2 billion have been lost to the crypto hacks in the first quarter of 2025 alone. just 300 million less than the total loss in 2024. So there have been a lot of hacks going on this year. And again, we're in the bull run cycle. Like, in this time, these hackers are in full force. We say it all the time. That's why you need a safe computer and just know what you're doing when you're getting involved in cryptocurrencies. So be wary of that, be safe, and we'll hopefully get some more updates on this hack if they do recover it or not. Now, lastly, in the news, let's go over a arrest that happened with a person who has been jailed for 8 years for a global phishing service that he's been putting on. So yeah, so a creator of a $132 million global phishing service jailed for 8 years. Now, phishing service Lab Host charged fraudsters up to $300 in Bitcoin a month, with its creator receiving over $230,000 in crypto. Now, a British man who ran a global phishing service has been jailed for 8.5 years. Zach Coin, creator of Lab Host, a subscription service that allowed fraudsters to access fake versions of legitimate websites. The fraudulent page could then be used to deceive unsuspecting victims into handing over sensitive information. According to the British Crown Prosecution Service, the 24-year-old received $230,000 worth of cryptocurrency for designing and operating the site. Oh, he's just a 24-year-old? Oh, man, there goes his 20s. Now, the digital assets were laundered through multiple wallets and ultimately transferred to his bank after being converted into cash by a third party. The cybersecurity firm Trend Micro reported the Lab Host offered 3 tiers of memberships to cyber criminals that were paid for using Bitcoin. Now, a standard plan costs $179 per month, while the priciest package, which followed multiple campaigns to be executed at once, cost $300 a month. Now, some of the phishing packages available masqueraded as banks, government departments, and companies including Amazon, Uber, and Netflix, and estimates that suggest that the Lab Host was used by thousands of criminals in 91 countries who collectively defrauded more than 1 million people. According to the blockchain analytics platform Chain Analysis, crypto wallets with ties to the site received more than 1.1 million worth of digital assets between August 2021 and April 2024. Losses in the UK stood at 42 million, extending to more than 132 million worldwide. And Coin was arrested at Manchester Airport in north of England back in April 2024, and the website was subsequently taken down. So investigators recovered a large amount of evidence after the devices were seized, with London's Metropolitan Police describing it as a monumental operation. Now, Commander Stephen Clayman said Coin had brought misery to thousands of innocent people and told would-be fraudsters, "We will find you and take action." Now, the father of one had pleaded guilty to 3 criminal counts last summer, and Judge Jenny Lester Ashworth, told him during sentencing that Lab Host was one of the most professional and sophisticated websites in the world for online fraud. He said, "You also enjoyed what you were doing and also by being immersed in the criminal underworld operating online," she added. So he enjoyed it, she did it, he had fun with it, but now he's got to serve his time for doing it. So for all you bad actors out there, let this be a warning to you, because you probably will be caught eventually, because we got to believe in karma. Like, anything bad you do will come back at you. So yep, so that's the phishing news, but at least they were jailed. I'm not sure if money was recovered at all with this, but at least he's serving time, because at least we want action to with this when this stuff happens. But that is it for all the news we have. Bitcoin's Fear and Greed Index, or the whole crypto market's Fear and Greed Index, is at a 31 right now, so not bad right now. We're up from the 20s yesterday, so a little confidence brewing. The price is not showcasing that this fear favors, like, people are becoming a little bit more greedy. But Bitcoin's currently at $84,700, Ethereum's at $1,500, and XRP's at $2 right now. So that is it for you. Hope everybody has a fabulous, is it Wednesday? Oh man, it's Wednesday. It's hump day. Yeah, we're halfway through the week. So I hope everybody has a fabulous rest of your week, and I will be back tomorrow at noon for some more crypto news. So I'll see you guys then. Peace.
Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.